If you're living in your car and working the night shift, summer becomes your biggest enemy. Denver's sun at a mile high can turn my hatchback into a literal greenhouse by midday. While my Prius V does have ready mode so that I can run the car's AC, I am always looking for ways to reduce the wear and tear on my engine and save a little bit more on gas. That's why I decided to test out the EvaChill portable evaporative cooler. It's small, it runs on a USB, and it promises to drop the temperature in tight spaces. Did it actually work though? Did it help me get solid daytime sleep after working my overnight shift? Let's find out. Here's my completely honest review from the back of my hybrid home. Okay, so here it is. The little EvaChill by Polar. See how cute and little it is. So let's start with the basics. Not a paid review. I wasn't paid to talk about this. I wasn't sent one for free. I paid my own money out of my own pocket for this little evaporative cooler. So a couple weeks ago, give or take, I was watching a video on YouTube. A woman named Tori Delury, I believe that's how you pronounce it. She has a YouTube channel. She does van life. She lives in a little van. I'll link the video below, but she had made a video about how she lives in her van in extreme heat situations and the things she does to stay cool. And one of the things that she mentioned was this little evaporative cooler. Now it's obviously not enough to cool an entire van. It's not enough to cool my entire Prius, but that's okay. She had mentioned in the video that she has a cat that lives in her van and travels with her, and that she had bought this little evaporative cooler and just kind of puts it down next to her cat's bed so it keeps her cat at a comfortable temperature when she's in places where it's extremely hot. And I thought, if it can just keep like a little area cool in her extreme heat situations, why don't I give it a try? I just need like my face, my neck, that, to be cool while I am sleeping during the day. So I paid money, I purchased it, I had it shipped to me, and I have been testing it out most days. I haven't been testing it the last couple days because it's been raining, and it's basically a swamp cooler, so you do have to pay attention to humidity. It's also been raining the last couple days, so it's been nice. Like, it's 67 right now. I don't need anything to keep me cool. I slept all day just fine with like one fan. But I have, since I received it, have been, using it a lot. So here's a bunch of footage that I took and my opinion on it. The first thing I love about this unit is its size, because space is tight in a Prius V. This fits perfectly right next to my bedding setup without getting in the way at all. Second thing I really like is that it runs entirely on a standard USB cable. This is a huge plus for me. It draws almost no power. I can plug it in my Jackery and run it all day without really using much of my battery. I also have one of my fans has a little power pack attached to it, so I can just plug it into my fan that's already blowing and sort of double up on it. Now, it is an evaporative cooler, meaning you do have to fill a water tank with water. I just use a standard water bottle that I've already got to fill it up. It says that it has a large enough tank for 9 hours, and I'm finding that keeping it on its lowest setting, that seems to be true. I have not yet had an issue where I ran out of the water while I was asleep. So that's a huge plus for me. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, devices like this EvaChill, they rely on humidity to work. They work best in dry, arid climates. Fortunately, Colorado's got very low humidity, which makes this kind of a perfect fit for the region. If you lived in a humid place like Florida, this would just turn your car into a sauna. But here in Denver, it actually has a chance to do its job. Of course, you've still got to be very careful. Running a swamp cooler in your house is nothing like running a swamp cooler in your car. In your car, there is a much greater risk of all that moisture that it's putting into the air turning into mold and mildew in your tiny little car where you're trying to get some sleep. Let's be completely honest. This tiny little box is not a replacement for my car's actual air conditioner. It's not going to cool down the entire Prius, especially when it starts getting 90 degrees outside. However, if I put it right next to my pillow, blowing directly on my face and neck, it does create a nice little cool micro area. Takes the edge off the heat for me. My strategy right now is to run my Prius air conditioner for 10 to 15 minutes to cool the interior of the car down. Turn the car off, and then use my fans plus this EvaChill to keep my immediate sleeping space cool for the next few hours. It saves my engine from cycling on and off while I sleep. Okay. Final verdict on the EvaChill by EvaPolar. It's not bad. Cost about $100. I think it was $99 on the website, plus shipping and handling, obviously. It's good. It's not a replacement for, running your AC, obviously. But it does keep like my immediate area fairly cool. It works best because, dry climate of Colorado, so I'm not too concerned about the humidity. The low humidity levels make it so that it's not adding too much into the air and it can work properly. Obviously that means that whenever there is like rain and stuff, I can't run it, but I don't really need it then anyway, so it's not a big deal. I like that I can run it on my Jackery, and it doesn't drain a lot of power out of my Jackery. Like, I can run it for several hours while I'm sleeping, and I think it might take my Jackery down like 5% in battery, maybe 10%. It's really not a lot, which is nice. It means I can keep cool to a certain extent without having to run my car, without, running the battery in the car or wasting gas to charge up the battery. Always useful, always important. So, yeah, it is working for me in specific circumstances. It's worth the cost for me just because Colorado can get so hot. So yeah, I would recommend it for anyone else that is living in their car in a hot, dry environment. I think, it could be a good little purchase. And look how cute it is. Alright, that is my quick review and recommendation for anyone else trying to survive the heat in their car. Bye.